Hello everybody, another BC unboxing for you. This time I've got another Hollandspiele title for you. Depending on where you watch this in, it might be the first one you've seen, it might be the third one, I don't know. The Scheldt campaign, a Brian Train design. So there's a movie on Netflix right now called The Forgotten Battle, I believe, that got me interested in this subject matter. This is the campaign to clear out the estuaries and islands that were blocking Allied access to the port of Antwerp. They needed that port to bring supplies in, otherwise they had hundreds of miles of logistical line to bring supplies up with, and they tasked a Canadian army, I believe it was, to clear out the German soldiers, and it was not a good time. It was a rather bloody and brutal campaign, and one that doesn't get a lot of attention as opposed to, say, Battle of the Bulge or D-Day landings, any other real major conflict. So this interested me, ordered a copy, here you go. It's not a solo game, but it's soloable, I believe, because there's no hidden information in it. So that doesn't bother me. If it doesn't bother you, I'd say, hey, give it a chance. So this says, when it was first published in 2012, Brian Train's The Scheldt Campaign was the first game to focus on the 1944 clearing operations in the Scheldt estuary. The subtle interplay of the game's mechanism artfully captures the feel and nuance of the historical battle. Hollandspiele is proud to bring this game to a wider audience in a handsome new edition with map art by rising talent Ilya Kudryashov, I believe. I am terrible with names, so hopefully I got that pretty close. So this was, as you can see, obviously, as I said, a Hollandspiele game, and I had just ordered a few of these from them. Very happy with what I have received. Now, you can tell there's no plastic on it. I've already opened it. Wanted to make sure all the pieces were in place before I did this. There's nothing like doing an unboxing video and finding missing components, so I just wanted to make absolutely sure everything was here. So the first thing you see, everything in here is exactly as it was when I open it. So this is what you would see too, I believe. So we've got 6 blue dice, which is nice. One of the main reasons you got all that rattling going on in there, which is unusual. Another game with theirs, Charlemagne, that I unboxed before, is just 1 die, so it doesn't make nearly as much noise. Here is the manual, obviously. We've got how many pages do we got? We've got some information on the back, and it runs 15 pages, and we've got some full color examples here on the back as well. So let's see how many of these 15, 16 pages are actually rules. As you can tell, or as with most rule books, there's the designer notes and notes on opposing forces, as you can see here, and some other information about the battle and the campaign itself. So that takes up some of the space. How to win here. So we're looking at maybe 11 pages or 10.5 pages of rules, which is not bad at all. And you can see, you can already tell the counter designs here looking at them. I like it. I think it's easy to read. The numbers are nice and large. The icons are good sized as well. So we'll take a look at that counter sheet here momentarily. We've got 2-column format. The text is rather large. It's not huge, but it's not tiny either. So that's nice, especially if you're older and you're looking or having trouble seeing through your eyeglasses. It's very nice to have this kind of print. And lost my train of thought for a second, sorry. Anyway, there's the rule book. Nice rule book, very approachable from first glance, it looks like. Let me open this all up here so we can take a look at it at once. We have got an Allied setup card and a German setup card. These look like, okay, so it's headquarters listing, tactical units attached to those headquarters. Right down the back, yes, there is. We've got terrain effects, special units, battle sequence, turn events table. So again, 2-player game, but can be soloed, I think. But we'll definitely need to use both of these if you want to play solo to keep track of everything. And we've got a battle sheet here, it looks like. Or maybe it's some kind of unit holder. Deadpool units. It might be a battle track, I don't know. Dice and hits track. Yeah, so it must be a battle sheet of some kind. That's interesting. Excuse me. Then we've got German order battle. So here we go. This is probably for holding German units. We've got the different divisions. This is a little difficult to read with the black text on a black and white image. It's easier to read here, for example, 64th Infantry Division, 70th Infantry Division. But up here, 58th, 59th Infantry Division, 711th Infantry Division. So a white drop shadow on that would have made a huge difference across the board on all this print, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Looks like it might be a little cut off over here, but maybe that was intentional in the design. It still looks like a nice order of battle. Looks like it ate up a lot of ink too. Same with this one here. This is a lot easier to read since the colors are lighter. They're a little more khaki colored. And that might have been just because of British units and Canadian units, perhaps. We've got a US unit here that doesn't look like the same color. Maybe that's got a little greenish tinge to it. It's hard for me to tell here, but you can see, and yeah, the Polish unit is kind of a red background, and 51st looks more khaki here. So yeah, that's a nice design touch there. And again, a little bit cut off here. You can see the T and the is about halfway on the sheet. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know, but that's all right. I'm not going to complain too much about that. That's just to point it out to anybody who might have issues with that. Looks like a nice little order of battle sheet otherwise. Then we have two counter sheets. One with, looks like operations, staff positions, I think, and then some modifier counters, perhaps. Yep, staff markers. That's interesting. I can't wait to find out how that works, because you usually don't read about staff in or staff impacting in games. I mean, directly like this anyway, like the actual titles and the nomenclatures of those staff positions. I could be wrong, but in my experience, I haven't seen much of that. And the sheet itself, with the units, as I said, we would look at. We've got infantry, artillery, armor, engineer, and a few that I do not recognize. Maybe they're commandos, perhaps, or anti-tank. I'd have to look at that player aid sheet to see exactly what they represent. But I do like the design. The numbers are pretty easy to read. These here on the Germans are not hard to read, but they're not exactly easy. The Allied side is a little bit easier. Here, maybe it would have been better to have a white print, perhaps. But anyway, not a big deal. I can read it fine in this light, so you can probably have that too, no problem. And we've got icons on the back here, which probably, I wonder if those tie into the staff chits, perhaps, and more modifiers, and then some game markers. So that's nice. I do like the design overall. Couple of improvements possibly, but I do like the design. All right, so here's the map. It's nice and long. It's not even, I can't say that's 11 by 17. That's a lot different from what I've seen before. We've got a track along that runs the entire length of the map at the top, terrain key, and then here's the area of operations running from the western edge to Antwerp and beyond. Here, there's Antwerp and some other towns as well, but that's interesting. Nice and narrow, which I can think would only attest to the brutalness of this battle when you don't have much of a front to face off against. You're just going to have to bludgeon your way through. So we'll see how that plays out. And that is that. That is the back of the box. So let me just pack everything back in here. Again, an unusual subject for a war game. There might be some others out there, but I'm not very much aware of them. I think I'm looking forward to trying this one out and getting it to the table to play. Thanks for watching.